Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode with your Money Feed MD Money Coach. So, if you're listening to this is a special series that we're doing on the platform. And as I mentioned to you guys earlier, I am calling on my friends, my colleagues, and literally humans in the physician space to learn what they're doing to get ready for the economic downturn. And the reason why is not so that anybody or their mamas can freak out. No, it's so that we can be prepped. And so I actually just finished getting interviewed. My husband and I got interviewed by Dr. Fawole, who is the person we're interviewing for her STR summit. And so we're like, don't run away. Can we please record you before? And so you not only get me and Dr. Fawole, you also get my husband as part of this conversation. And we are going to be interviewing her together. It's going to be a short interview as promised, but the goal is I want everybody to be prepped. I want us to be cool, calm, and collected. And I want us to learn. This is no one here is a financial advisor. This is only for educational and inspirational purposes. So you can learn and figure out what you want to do with your finances so that you can be well. So welcome, Dr. Fawole.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Always a pleasure.
Great to have you.
Do you want to tell us real quickly who you are, what you do in terms of medicine, in terms of finances in general, and why I truly believe that you're one of our experts in the physician space when it comes to helping us be equipped financially?
Yeah, so I am Chiagozie Fawole. Like you said, I'm the founder of Savvy Docs in Real Estate. I am a pediatric anesthesiologist and real estate investor. Got started investing during residency, initially built a portfolio of long-term rentals. And then last year, I think it was last year, I did a hard pivot to short-term rentals because I feel like my eyes opened. And now I've been like a town crier in the physician space saying doctors need short-term rentals, and not just short-term rentals, but everybody needs a Doris. And Doris is our lakefront home that has turned into, all kinds of things for us, including just wellness and wealth.
Nice. I love it. Everybody needs a Doris. I love that. Well, do you want to ask her questions about how she's prepping?
Yes. So how are you prepping for the downturn? We're already in it. We're already in it. So what are you doing to get yourself, to thrive, not to survive, but to thrive?
So I feel like my head has been in a downturn since 2016. Okay. So quick story. 2016, was it 2016 or 2017? I forget the dates now. No, 20. Okay, dude, I'm totally lost on my dates right now, but I think it was 2016. We purchased a 12-unit apartment complex in Rochester. And the subsequent year, I was looking at deals and everything was going up. And I was like, this thing's about to crash. Like, I'm not about to pick up properties that are overpriced, and I just felt that everything was going to crash. But now I was wrong those 4 years, okay? Yeah. But even then, I kind of built my portfolio with the mentality of what would you do if this thing turned tomorrow? Because we'd been seeing what seemed like crazy growth, 2016, 2017, 2018, right. 2019, we thought COVID was going to be it. Correct. COVID was not. Instead, it actually increased the spike. So I sort of had always had that mindset. If it wasn't last year, it could be this year. And so had been underwriting very critically. So what was I doing during this time? Making sure that our properties cash flowed. Okay. I was buying multifamily at the time because I didn't want to be stuck with a property that could not pay for itself. Now, last year when I did the switch to two short-term rentals, the first thing that I did was rental arbitrage. Okay, so in that case, I wasn't even buying property; I was leasing property and turning them into short-term rentals. That is, one nice way. Now, rental arbitrage is not the cure-all for a downturn. Okay, matter of fact, it can be a burden if people are not traveling and you have all these leases. Okay, so what I did now this year, when things started turning, was number one, I did not renew a couple of leases.
Gotcha.
So we had about 10 last year. And when it came time to renew, there were 3 of them in particular that I had the option to. We had an issue with the landlord that I could have fought if I wanted to stay. But when I saw what was happening in the market, I was like, you know what? Y'all can keep it. y'all can keep them. I'm good. So even adjusting our strategy, was number one. So making sure that it cash flowed, and then two, not being as aggressive on what I considered were kind of like riskier strategies. The third thing is underwriting our purchases very conservatively. So we were under contract for a deal down a few weeks ago, and after seeing kind of what was happening in the market, we had a couple of conversations or whatever, and decided this was not the time to take on that kind of a risk. If you know me, you know that I have a huge tolerance for risk.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
I have a huge tolerance, but then lately I've been like, okay, I got no. Let's pump the brakes, okay? We're not buying Me Too properties. We're making sure that every property has a purpose, okay? So if it's not going to cash flow, if there's no clear indication of appreciation, and when I say appreciation, that means right now the only appreciation you can hope for is the one that's already there. Okay, so that means, for example, like my clients are doing, like you're buying properties that the day it closes, the appraised value is already higher. That's the only appreciation that anybody's hoping for right now, the one that's already there. Yeah, those are the three things. Basically, picking strategies that are a little less, aggressive out there. Nice, stable, proven revenue, right? As against, this could do this amount next year. I need to see it, and then not pushing for appreciation, but getting things at a discount so that if you buy it has appraised higher than it's. Yeah.
So that's a great. So being more, because right now there are going to be opportunities to buy because already going down. So it's going to be important to make sure that you buy right. You buy with the worst case scenario in mind. Exactly. And by the way, for those that are watching, if you don't know what she means by arbitrage, rental arbitrage, go ahead and listen to an episode that I did with her. It was episode 21 on the podcast, where Dr. Fawole talked about arbitrage, how she talked about short-term rentals, and how she's been able to help physicians diversify their income source by renting out apartments, and then they using it as short-term rental. So we're not going to go into too much details on that, but you can go check out episode 21 on the Money Fit MD podcast. So with everything we're doing, there's always going to be the action, and there's always going to be the mindset or the psychology part. So what are some of the things that you're trying to ground yourself in psychologically? Because the goal of this is not for people to freak out, right? The goal is I want us all to be prepped. So I am curious if you want to share one or two things that you and your families are doing when it comes to mindset or psychology to prep to be well during whatever this is.
The first thing really is getting confident in knowing the skills that you already have, right? Because when things like this happen, when things shift in the market and then you feel them tangibly, like for example, when we began that deal that I talked about, the interest rates were like 4 or 5, and the numbers made sense. By the time we're getting to the end, interest rates were like, through the roof. And, that can dent your confidence when it comes to actually going out there. But just taking a step back and saying, you know what, in spite of everything that has happened or not happened, what is? Okay. Right. So what is that I know how to find a good deal. Okay. I know how to underwrite property. So if I find something right now, in spite of whatever may or may not have happened, I can make a clear decision on whether or not to take that property or not. Another thing also is understanding that it's something that I talk about a lot. Actually, it's just abundance. Okay, so not feeling like if I don't do this, there will be no more of it. Okay, like there was a deal that we saw close to our lake house, and that I was going to go for. Beautiful. I mean, it's great location. Now we have doors, like I call it. I had, basically my own comp on that property. It had 2 acres or whatever, but they were asking like 360, and the property needed a good amount of work. Okay. So I made my offer. I asked them, I was like, you know what, 240 and we're good. That's like 120K less than what they asked for. Okay. I'm like, if you take 240, you have a buyer, right? And I waited it out. I waited. And then recently I looked and I saw that it wasn't on market anymore. So technically it's like, oh man, I should have gone back. Maybe I should have made a better offer because maybe I could have pulled it off at even 320. But then I was like, you know what? Calm yourself, right? That's not the only deal that'll be out there. If somebody else thought that 360 was a good price, well, they can go ahead. I'm not paying 360 for that property. Right. So just kind of settling down in the idea of abundance that, you know what? There will be deals. I know opportunities sometimes, sometimes you need to like pounce on opportunity. In this kind of market, I feel like there'll be so many deals that even if you somehow missed one because you were being cautious, like reasonably cautious, like actually running the numbers and seeing kind of where you needed to fall cautious, not fear cautious, right? You'll find another one. That's what I feel about this market. But then when a true opportunity arises, you've run the numbers, you have the cash, it lines up, then yeah, go for it. Do it.
I love it. All right. So you guys heard her. It's again, combination of mindset and strategy. You've heard, and that's why we're bringing you all these amazing humans that are donating their time just to give to the physician community. So is there any last words you want to leave with us before we say goodbye so you can go do all the fabulous stuff you have planned to do?
So you actually mentioned this on our own recording, but I think your audience actually needs to hear this. She talked about dancing in the rain. Okay. When the rain falls, everybody runs inside, right? But it's those who learn to dance in the rain that actually get to enjoy it, right? And I think that is what savvy investors are doing right now.
Right.
People are out there finding deals because there are deals to be had. Everybody else has sort of like run in. Nobody wants to buy. Properties are sitting on the market. But if you can be persistent and find a motivated seller, you will get what you want. That's my parting thought.
I love it. And since Sheila is here, my husband is here on this interview, he can actually attest to the fact that I love the rain and he does not love the rain. So when it's raining, I'm like, I am about to go for a walk. There's nobody on the streets. It's just me and the rain. And I'll go around the block like twice and then I'll come get my kids and baby have to come with us with the rain jackets, right? Because I mean, it's helped me strengthen my mindset. And I believe that it's something that everybody can learn, which is how to have a solid mind. There are times when you're going to flutter because you're a human, right? But willing yourself and making sure you ground in yourself by being part of a community that holds each other and says, I know you don't normally like the rain, but I promise I'll hold you and I'll be here and you're not going to be there alone. And that's the only reason why my husband won't come out of the rain with me.
Yep. Not alone.
Not alone. It's like, it's like suffering.
I feel like we all need those kind of people in our lives because some of us will stay in the rain when there's thunder.
Some will, yeah. We have to pull them in. Yeah.
Some of us need those people around us to be like, okay, I know you like rain, but I think right now is the
yes, let's go in. Yes, and that's why balance is great.
Yeah.
And don't look for people that are exactly like you because we do help each other.
Correct.
And so no, thank you so much for coming, Chiagozie. Yeah. And special thank you to my special co-host. We'll see if I can drag him out to help me host another episode.
Yeah.
But thank you for hanging out with me on the Money Pit MD. Any parting words?
Yeah, I think thank you, Chiagozie, for coming in. I think one thing that I picked that was pretty resounding, for me, is not letting mistakes dent your confidence. And you make a mistake and you're like, okay, I'm not qualified, I'm never doing this again. So thank you for sharing that. I think everyone, including myself, needs to hear that you can make mistakes and you will make mistakes. Yes. And that's okay. You should not dent your confidence. You're gonna make good deals. Just keep dancing in the rain like the dancers in the rain here and keep moving forward. So thank you.
It's my pleasure. So much fun.
Thanks, everybody. I hope this was of value. I'm going to include the link to how you can find Dr. Fawole and all the amazing work she's doing in the short-term rental world.
And revolution.
In the revolution world. All right. Thanks, everybody.